Well, for a while now we've been PMing this Jeep TJ by cleaning out the inside of the frame, coating it, preventing rust from happening in the future, doing the exterior of the frame as well as the undercarriage. We put a new front bumper on, a new winch on, and today we're going to put a new back bumper on with a tire carrier on the back of the Jeep here. Let's get at it. Let's open a new box. I've been waiting to open these boxes for a long time now. They've been sitting in my shop ready to go, but I knew if I got started on them I wouldn't finish the very necessary preventive maintenance needed to be done on this Jeep. Let's open a box and see what we have. This is a Barricade Classic rear bumper with tire carrier. And here it is, all ready to be bolted on. Comes with a 2-inch receiver. Let's set it down here. What else we have shortly, and in here we have let's see how this one opens. Carrier, part of the tire carrier. The rest of the tire carrier comes in the other box over there. We'll open it later. Of course, we've already removed the rear bumper. Now mine was an aftermarket bumper. It came off a little differently than your bumper might. But there are 2 plates that go on here on most bumpers. And that's true of this bumper too. The plate is right here. Now the bumper came with the plate already attached to it. So the first thing we have to do is get this plate off the bumper so that we can attach it to the Jeep. And there is the plate. That plate will go right on here. So we'll get that in a minute. Let's get the other one off. So now we have both these plates off, and it's time to put them on the bumper. They can be difficult because some of the bolts have to go up where this fuel tank is, and we had some trouble with getting the old ones off because of that fact. We'll move the bumper out. So, as is true in most things, if we can get one started, that'd be awesome to hold the others. Now, I was able to get this nut bolt in here. There are YouTube channels and others that say as long as you get these 2 outside ones on and tight, you don't really have to have the center one that's up by the gas tank. And I tried several things. First of all, I lost my nut in there. That's why it's always good to have a magnet around. And I grabbed the nut and brought it back out. I tried putting the nut up to where the bolt was coming through by using the magnet, because you can't get your hand up in there at all. Was unable to do it because the bolt would spin, the nut would spin on the magnet as the bolt was trying to start. So I got a long extension on a 3/8, 3/4 inch drive and put the nut in that, and I was able to reach from behind and push it up in and just get it started. So the bolt got started on the nut. Once the bolt got started on the nut, you can just barely reach that 3/4 inch wrench into the back of this and hold the nut as you tighten it from the outside with your socket. Now I've tightened it up, but not so tight that I can't move it, because you're going to see later, to make adjustments on this back bumper, you need to be able to slide this back and forth. Once we get the bumper in place, I'm confident I can get back up in there with the 3/4 inch wrench and get that one tight. So that's a big success, and I'm glad we're able to get that on there. I wouldn't feel right and I wouldn't be comfortable with only using the 2 outside bolts. Now the other side, we can get access to all 4 bolts without too much difficulty. So that's what we have to do next, is put this other one up on the other side of the back of the Jeep. Something else, make sure you put a washer on both sides of these bolts. I have to go back and redo that on the others. I just put the washer on the nut side, which is typical, put a washer on the nut side, but in this case, because of the groove slot on the face side, you want to put a washer on there also. I was wondering why so many washers came with the kit. You'd think I would figure that out, and that maybe we needed to use more. Okay, they're both started. Okay, this is one heavy bumper, but we have those brackets on. Now we want to set this bumper. It's kind of a dry fit. I want to see how it looks as far as center goes. On the frame of the end is 6 7/16. And the center to the end is 6. So it's got to come even further this way. From the frame to the end of the bumper, 6 1/4. From the frame to the end of the bumper, 6 1/4. So that's where we're going to want it, right there. And all the holes are visible. They're all workable. So now I'm going to lift this off while maintaining the integrity of those things here. And now we'll tighten those up. Now we did have to take these off. And remember, we want to put a washer on both sides of this bolt. Put them back in and tighten everything up. One of the good things about watching a video like this is you don't have to make that mistake that I just made. You won't have to redo it, because you can watch the video and do it right the first time. We secured the brackets tightly, all of them. It's now time to place our bumper. And again, we now know that we want 6 1/4 off the frame. Now we're going to get into a little problem that you'll see if you do any kind of YouTube searches on this bumper setup. Is we have a little issue with the license plate bracket and the latch system for this particular bumper. So what we have to do is remove my peers. I'm going to mark this exactly where it has to be cut out, because I've seen guys who have just butchered their license plate holder back here and it looked kind of bad. But I'm going to mark this where it needs to be cut out and then remove it. And we'll replace it after the bumper is on. Okay. Now we're able to get this bumper all the way back where it needs to go. Take the 2 bolts that came with it, with the washers and lock nut. Get them back down in there. Again, finger tight. You don't want those tight because we have to go underneath now and put in the final 2 bolts. And with the bottom ones tightened, we can now go ahead and tighten up the top ones. And that is basic bumper install. We do have a trimming to do on the license plate bracket, and then we'll open up another box which has the tire carrier in, and I'll be excited to get that tire carrier mounted and get my tire away from the door on the back of this Jeep. Okay, so I cut out this license plate bracket to accommodate this latch. I think it will. I'm going to put it back on. Make sure my license plate also still works.
Honey, the water's backing up again.
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, yesterday we were able to get the back bumper on, get it all situated, and then my day got interrupted. I had my wife came out and said, we have water backing up in the house, and we had a major sewage backup. And I don't mean up in Washington, D.C., which we all know about, but the sewage backup in my own house out to the sewer line. And I had to snake that all out. It was a job. Not as bad a job as we have in Washington trying to snake out the sewer line, but it was still a job. Well, putting the tire carrier on is a pretty easy job, but the first thing we want to do is lube up this post with some good grease so that it'll prolong its life. Make it operate better. And since it doesn't have a grease fitting, you want to make sure you get a good amount of grease on it at the very start as you put it on there. Next we'll take the arm and pick it up, and place it on top of the post. Works pretty smoothly. We have a cap to put on top of that, and then a little screw, Allen screw, to hold that cap on. Snug that down, and the gate opens nicely. The next part of the installation has to do with putting this this latch on. And let me tell you something, man, that is a big old latch. That is a significant latch, and it goes on obviously with this end pointing out, the handle pointing to the rear of the vehicle. Slips in there. It comes with a couple bolts. Go in through like that. And a flat washer and lock washer on each end. Washer, lock washer, and nut. It's a 17 millimeter on the back side. And the latch goes in here. Turn it down that way. Solid fit. For uses, it'll get better. Got a little rubber gasket on there that you have to push in. Very good. Now we just have to mount the tire and see how it works. Carrier is very adjustable. From the size here, you can expand it out or in depending on the size of your tire. And we'll measure that later as we go to put the spare tire on. You want to measure the tire from the edge of the tire into the part of the rim that's going to be attached to here, and then do this accordingly, spread this apart accordingly. We'll do that in a little bit, but first we have to put this on. We'll snug these up. Say 31-10-50 tire, so it's not a very big tire, therefore the setting goes all the way in. This will handle up to 37-inch tires. I sure would hate to lift a 37-inch tire up here. Oops. Had it. There we have our new tire rack. Very good. Solid. Oh, there's the rear bumper and tire carrier. That's a Barricade classic rear bumper and tire carrier. Mounted and ready to go. Not a hard mount, really isn't. If I hadn't been interrupted yesterday, we'd have easily done it in 2 or 3 hours. So that's finished. We're going to go with a Barricade roof rack here coming up very shortly. I already have it in my possession, so I just have to unbox it and put it on. Hey, if you're enjoying your time here, subscribe down below. We're going to be helping some vets out as we get on mission out on the road, and you can help us too. Join our little community. Let's go on mission together. And I hope your mission is joyful and full of adventure. Till next time.